you guys are doing good, and gals. We have been doing... I'll get it. As much as we can. Due to rain, I don't know if you can tell even now, it has been brutal even today. I actually just went to another one of my properties I was going to go ahead and knock out, and we got there, it was piss pouring rain, so I literally got off the highway and turned around, got back on the highway, and I was like, let's at least get the clinics here. And you know, I didn't know if it was going to be raining here or not, but it's not, at least for now. The rain has been brutal for, I say, this whole month, honestly. And that's one of the reasons I got as behind as I did. And because, you know, when you're solo, as I've mentioned before, you ninjas know, you are a lot slower. But then when you add the rain into it, it really messes everything up. So I'm going to try to get some footage for you here, see how he's doing. But I'm also going to keep my distance so you guys can hear me, because I do have a topic I want to quickly cover. And I don't want to stay on the camera too long at the video. I do want to get started with the trimming. Stuff like this, I do just trim with the weed eater. You know, you can't put a mower in there or anything like that. I told him really it needs to be on 3 inches, but being that it's so tall because of the rain, you know, if you want to go up a little bit higher on the deck, you can. He said no, let's just cut it at 3 if you want, and then if we have any clumps or anything, he goes, I can raise the deck and then just spread it. And I was like, all right, that's cool. So that's what he's doing. And this one is the last one that I have not had a chance to get to because I've been playing catch up and because of the rain. Yesterday we didn't even work because it's been basically doing nothing but raining all day yesterday. So didn't work yesterday. We had a late start today, and here we are. So this is going to be the last yard of the day, but I do want to share this with you. I did start a video, share this topic that we're going to talk about. I did start a video with my GoPro, and the whole Karen thing that happened, I think in the last video, really threw me off my game for that day. So I didn't even bother messing with the camera. I picked it up a little bit today at one of the yards, and I don't know, I may finish it, and then if I don't, it'll be tomorrow. But what I want to cover in this video with you ninjas is, if you are in this situation that I have been, you fall behind, whether you are solo or you have employees, doesn't really matter. People with employees fall behind all the time, right? Weather is not something we can control. Sometimes it's our worst enemy or best friend, and here for me lately, it's just been an enemy. But if you fall behind, by the way, I gotta cut this tree. They were asking me if I can cut this tree. See how it's hanging a little bit lower than the rest, right there. So I told them I can do that. That's not a problem. But if you are, and I'm keeping my distance so you can hear me. I know that mower is pretty loud. But if you are in the situation that I have been here lately, and you are behind and you're stressed out and freaking out and trying to, you know, figure out how you're going to get caught up, I will share with you how I do playing catch up, how I get caught up, and how I've been doing it, but now it's going faster, and now I am caught up basically ever since I hired the wannabe ninja. But how I do it, so I was like, I don't know, 20, 30 yards behind, or just kept rolling them over because of the rain. And so how I do it is, whether you're 20 yards behind or just 2 yards behind or 5 yards behind, if I have to roll any yards into the following week, I will try to squeeze them in as quickly as possible within that schedule of that following day, right? So let's say I'm carrying over from this last weekend couple of yards. So Monday and Tuesday, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in 1 or 2 yards, especially if I'm close to that neighborhood or in that neighborhood. I'm gonna throw in 1 or 2 or 3 yards, as many as I can, depending on the schedule. You kind of have to assess that as you go by the day and see how your schedule looks. But you want to get to those yards as quickly as possible, because those are the yards that are high priority at that point to me. They have to get taken care of because they have been carried over into the following week. So if I have 5 yards that I'm carrying over, and I know, you know, number one had to, you know, it should have been mowed last Monday, and then like number 2 should have been mowed last Wednesday, and number 3 and 4 should have been Thursday, and then the 5th one should have been Friday, but now all of them are carried over into this Monday. So obviously what I'll do is when I start to mow those yards into this week, I'm not going to start with number 5, I'm not going to start with number 4 or 3, I'm going to start with the number 1 and 2, because those were the ones that should have been cut last week in the beginning of the week. Does that make sense, ninjas? Of course it does. No, I hope that makes sense, seriously. But that's how I do it. And you know, sometimes it's not a big deal. I've been behind even when I've been solo, and I'm able to catch up. But with all this rain we've been having, it's been really brutal. I was just getting buried alive basically with these yards. I've got so many yards to see, and then it's really wet right there too. It kind of holds water in that area, in that spot right there. But anyway, that's how I do it. I don't know if you ninjas have a better way. Please share if you do. You know, I'm always open to learning and getting tips from you ninjas, as well as you might be getting some tips sometimes from me. But yeah, playing catch up is never fun, but you got to do what you got to do, and having extra help is always awesome, and having someone that really knows what they're doing. Now in that last video, when I said when I kind of recorded him mowing that little clinic over there, that little commercial, a lot of you had pointed out, you know, he's not making 3-point turns. You know, I talked to him and he's very well aware of the 3-point turns, but he was honestly like, Nick, I honestly didn't even realize I wasn't doing it. So it just happens. It's just part of it. It's okay. But you know, he's doing good now, and I told him just try to remember, you know, because they are pretty important, especially dealing with wet turf and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you ninjas, heck, sometimes I even forget, and I have to like catch myself, you know. I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't do the 3-point turn. But yeah, he's good. He's been a great help, and see, he's doing a 3-point turn there, but even though it's on a hill, he slid a little bit. I see where he kind of scuffed it up a little bit. Again, when you're dealing with wet turf, overgrown yard, we've been battling with rain, you know, I'm not trying to be too picky, and I think most of my customers in this situation are being super understanding. So yeah, that is the topic, at least for this video. That's how I play catch up. You know, I make sure I just get those ones that are in order. You just basically take care of them in order. Yeah, I got to trim all this. I told him, he started trimming, and I said, hey, don't worry about it. I want to get some footage while you're mowing so I can show you ninjas, but also want to talk to you about this. And I was like, I'll just trim. He's been trimming all day. I did record with the GoPro that abandoned house. I had a video about a week or 2 ago. I guess it's been 2 weeks ago. And there's a lot of poison ivy and all kinds of other things. And I was telling him, be careful about it. We got to make a little progress on it, but you know, be careful. And he's like, oh, I'm not worried about it. I'm not allergic. He just went right through town. He went to town with that. He went right through it, man. I was like, man, that's crazy. I was like, you're really not allergic? He's like, nah. So anyway, but you will see that on the actual GoPro video once I get it uploaded and completed, because it's still not complete. That Karen on that last video really messed me up. But anyway, so there you have it. And he's gonna rerun this, raise the deck, spread the clumps. The grass is pretty wet and dewy. Obviously it's rained here earlier, but not right now. And yeah, so that's that. Let me see if I can, here it goes. Well, let me get some mowing footage for you for about a minute or so, and then we're gonna get out of here. Hope all you ninjas are doing good. I don't know how you're dealing with, what kind of weather you're dealing with. Some of you have been saying maybe you haven't had rain in a while, you need rain bad, and some of you might be in the same boat that I have been for the last month, which is nothing but rain. Yeah, see, it holds water right through there. But old Skipper right here, he's doing good, man. He's been a great help, like I said, and he's very comfortable with all the equipment. He's just a really nice guy. I really enjoy talking to him, getting to know him. The more that he's working with me and that we're spending time on these yards together. So yeah, just a nice guy. I gotta get him some shirts. I will be ordering new shirts anyway, but I'm gonna get him some of these shirts that I'm currently using for now. And then when I order new shirts, we're all gonna have new shirts. I'm gonna be looking into hiring another guy, probably here soon. I will, I'm just trying to stay caught up as we are now, but I've got some of this side work that's been kind of pending. I'd like to get that out of the way, but I'm gonna try to get another guy on board, and then that way, you hear how it's bogging a little bit? Not really, but pretty clumpy. But I want to get another guy so that way not only, help me, but help him as well. Even though we got a good system going right now, Ninjas, so what we do is, if it's a pretty big yard, sometimes he would do the backyard and I'd do the front, and I tell him to always go to the backyard and I'll always do the front. The only reason I tell him to do that is, I told him, I said, I want to be in the front yard because if the customer has a question, a lot of times customers can come outside and, they might want to say something. Maybe they want to give me a payment, which I don't really have any more clients that hand me a payment. I mean, I have a few, but nowhere near like I used to. All of it now is they pay for the whole month up ahead or up front, or, I have a card on file. But, a customer may come out and say, hey, Nick, can you do this? Or can you guys knock this out? I have something extra. So I want to be there so that the customer doesn't have to hunt me in the backyard. And so he'll do the backyard and he'll trim and mow, and I'll do the front yard and I'll trim and mow. And then, we'll do that on some of the bigger yards. And then like your normal size yards, we kind of rotate. He'll trim like 1 or 2 or 3 back to back, or sometimes it's just one. It just depends how he feels, how I feel. I'm not really in any particular way, or picky. And then we'll swap it out. I'll trim 1 or 2 or 3 and then he'll mow. And that's really cool when you have an employee that actually knows what they're doing and they have experience. You can do that. And it's just a nice thing, so that way you're not wearing them out, you're not wearing yourself out. You don't want to be just trimming all the time, and you don't want them to be trimming all the time. So we've had a good system going, man. It's been pretty good. But yeah, I will be hiring somebody else, and then that way I'm gonna try my best to see if I can get somebody else like him with some experience, and that way they can be mowing and trimming and swapping out between each other, the trimming and mowing, or if they have a bigger, and if it's like a huge yard, like let's say just for example, like the church, then I would jump in and all 3 of us would knock it out. But if it's your normal granny yards or, just something mediocre, normal, average, I don't care to be involved if I have to, but I don't have to, like if they got it, I can do other things, whether it be figuring out where we're going next, communicating with clients, picking up more jobs, right? So I've been like turning jobs down because I've been solo. And, and then I can also focus on landing more accounts and, planning and scheduling if we have some landscaping stuff coming up. But yeah, that's basically my plan here. But we'll see, I don't want to rush too fast. But we'll see how he does. So far, he's been doing great. So anyway, that's the plan. Thank you, Ninjas, for tuning in. Appreciate you. Hope all you're doing good. Like I said, man, it's just been really crazy here and very hectic and very challenging within the last few weeks. But I better get going. I'm gonna jump on the Schwimmer and swim all this up, clean it up, and then we're just gonna blow off and get out of here. Wet. Security cameras in use. So I'm recording and they're probably recording me. Oh well. All right. I will see you on the next one. Peace, 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 peace. Papa Cha.